Thanks for joining. All those that aren't joining or trying to or willing to. We have a good one, man. Like for real. This is the one that we got tonight is really, really good. Check it out. It said what this morning anyway. It says, am I willing to acknowledge there are certain realities that I must face about my life? So I was pondering on that. It's like realities about my life. Am I willing to face them? Well, then I was like, okay, depending on what they are. I don't know, but let's keep going. It says, it's amazing the stories we tell to avoid facing the realities in which we live. People drink, they say for medical reasons. Abused women say they fell downstairs. Abused and battered children needed the discipline. Rather than face what is really going on, we will sit in the middle of a mess and call it a garden. We ride our boats down the river of denial and refuse to acknowledge the stench in the river. Even when the stench becomes unbearable, we say it's a good place to fish. We seem to have a really hard time calling things what they are, which is probably why we spend so much time in bad situations. The longer we resist facing whatever it is, the easier it is to forget that we are equipped to change it. And I'm gonna put a pin right there and come back to the rest of it, because like I just need to say, you know, the first part struck me. It says that like we tell ourselves that hold on, let me that we'll sit in the middle of the mess and call it a garden. On the boat and riding down the river of denial. Refusing to acknowledge that the stench in the river that is staying. I remember early on coming up, it's like I created a fantasy world to live in because I didn't want it. I couldn't. I did well. One, I didn't know how I was a kid. First of all, I didn't know how to accept what was going on and what was happening to me, like the sexual abuse. Like it just talked about the battered, abused, and battered child. And I was that child. I was abused mentally, physically, really emotionally. And I didn't know how to handle that. So it's like I act like it didn't happen. So I created another life for myself to live. It was like I was this other person. Thinking back on that now, has like I have come a very long way. I've come an extremely long way to come from from that little girl who was abused to the woman that I am today. It's truly a blessing. It's like, and I grew up, having a hard time calling a thing and calling a thing what it is. I always wanted it to be something other than what it is, because if it was anything other than what it actually was, I could cope and manage, manipulate, and control it and all that. Except when I have no other choice but to call it and acknowledge it for what it was. And we call it that thing. It's like that thing in us. What is the thing in you? And I asked myself, what is that thing in me? That allows me and makes me want to go back and live in fantasy again. You know, that it hurts so bad that I don't want to face reality or admit that it exists. I'm grateful for the people that I have in my life that don't allow me to go there. That I have the opportunity to call a thing what it is, even though it hurt, even though it's painful, even though I may be in a fetal position, I still get to name it. I get to name it. And naming it is half the battle, because then I can put it in its proper place. But let's go on. It says, the Bible offers us a story about a man who sat at the gate of the city begging for coins. When two of Jesus' disciples passed him without dropping anything into his cup, he asked, why? The beggar explained his situation. He pleaded with the disciples for help. They refused. The disciples refused to believe his story because they knew the truth. Instead of seeing the man as a beggar, they saw his power, his strength, his inheriting right to stop begging and claim his divine inheritance. They knew he was in denial. The disciples knew that the man could call himself a beggar for so long he knew he now believed it. Okay, the disciples knew that the man had called himself a beggar for so long that he now believed it. Disciples refused to help the brother hold on to his limited idea and beliefs about himself. Wouldn't it be a wonderful thing if you could stop buying into your stories and face the truth? Until today, you may have been avoiding, denying, resisting the truth. You may have forgotten that you can do anything you choose to. You can have the kind of life you desire. Just for today, stop telling stories. Put the begging cup away. Look at yourself. Look at your life. Tell the truth about what you see. The truth. Today, I'm devoted to telling the truth about the realities of my life. Okay, so if anybody is out there checking in, check in with me. I'm here. Man, like that's a really good reading for me today. Calling a thing and telling the truth about the realities in my life. And some of those realities for me today, I don't really be liking to put my stuff out there. Let me just say that. But one of the realities for me today is like I'm house hunting, and it's been a struggle. It's been kind of hard, and I want to say that at first I wanted it ain't that bad. That the process of however long it take, I'm gonna be in it because I'm gonna do what I got to do to get a house. And what has happened is like I got tired of dealing with some people that was dealing that they was doing their job. Let me say that they were doing their job. So I voiced how I was feeling with some other people, and they gave me some assistance. They gave me some information, and in taking that information, I was able to go down and then look at some other avenues of getting a house. So it shouldn't be long, but to call that thing a thing, because I didn't want to tell my husband how frustrated I was about us not having a house just yet. So I acted as if I didn't call the thing what it was. It's like and so over this past week I was on vacation and I was out of town, and I was and I had to let my husband know, like, hey, I broke down. First of all, let me go and get real honest and transparent. I broke down, and he didn't understand. Well, he didn't know, because I wasn't sharing. I didn't share it with him because it's like I felt like I had to do all, be all. I'm first time home first time home buyers person. And so I felt like the weight of the world was on my shoulders, not realizing or not accepting or knowing how to utilize that I have a mate, a partner that could help me, because he done been in my shoes before. And so I wasn't saying nothing. And so I just broke down under some pressure, boo-hooing and crying and stuff, y'all. Because I wasn't able to call a thing what it was. But just for the day, I'm grateful that I had that opportunity. Now, I'm not grateful that I broke down now, but I'm grateful that for the results that came out of that breakdown. It was like I was able to have some intimate conversation with my husband and got a more clear understanding of what direction we're going in, as far as this house thing goes. And I'm super excited about it. But let me just say, all my eggs is not in one basket. Now, that part, all my eggs is not in one basket. Because what I realized and found out during this process is like, what may work for some people don't won't work for me. Some things that'll work for me might not work for you. And I'm able to call a thing a thing. Today it's like, and another thing, it's like I went back and I got another, I wasn't being fed in some other areas in my life or in my recovery. So I had to change some things up in sponsorship. And I ain't gonna say I wasn't being fed. It's just that I was looking for something that I wasn't getting. And I thought, let me keep the focus. I thought that I seen something that I thought that I seen something that I wanted and I didn't get it. Today I try to stay away from avoiding and denying. I try to stay away from resisting the truth because, like the old saying go, the truth will set you free. Now, freedom ain't free at the end of the day. So, and that's for me. I don't know about nobody else, but freedom ain't free. But the truth will set you free. The truth has always set me free. Now, I might not have always liked the truth, because I didn't come up with, my grandma used to say all the time, tell the truth, shame the devil. But shoot, I lied. It was fun lying for me. Hell, I survived that way. But as I got older and had to go through some things, truth became my best friend. Because for me, truth, I was being very transparent. The reason I say that is because, like, at the end of the day, when you tell the truth, nothing can go wrong. Nothing will go wrong. I mean, you might have to face some oh my God, I don't know what's going on with my caption. I think I'm over here midning and it's not coming out the way that it's supposed to. Something, I don't know. But I'm doing something and I'm messing up stuff, I guess. But anyway, let me get back to where I'm supposed to be at. And I forgot what it was. It's safe to say. But anyway, let me say, just for the day, I know that I'm not living in a place where I used to live at. I'm not living in a place where I'm not facing my realities. I'm not accepting life on life terms, basically. You know what I'm saying? Today, I live in a place where life shows up and I deal with it as it comes. Now, all the time, I don't have all the answers. And as meditation was talking about today, it says, once more and again, it's like, am I willing to acknowledge that there are certain realities I must face about my life? You know, it didn't say that maybe I can face some. It says I must face about my life. Some realities that I must face, you know, good, bad, or indifferent. I got to face them head on, you know. And that's not always comfortable. Let me just say that. It's not always comfortable for me. I don't know about nobody else, but I just know for me, it's not always comfortable. And when I'm uncomfortable, I tend to run. You know, do I like running? No, I do not. Um, and that's just because I don't want to. I don't run anymore because I don't want the pain that comes with that. I don't. I don't want to deal with the consequences that come with running. You know, some people think, oh no, let me not even talk about some people. Let me keep the focus on Emma. You know, what running had cost me in my life prior to now is I spent a lot of time in prison. I spent a lot of time in a self-made prison of my own. I stayed in a little room. And I was in a house. I was in a big ass house, but I stayed in one room in that whole house. I barely came out to go to the bathroom and take a shower and wash my tail because I was in a self-made prison. Because I was running for me. There were some realities about me that I did not want to accept or that I could not even look at because I thought they would kill me. I thought I would literally die. But there's a God. I have a power greater than myself, and I choose to call it God, that showed me grace and mercy and brought me to where I'm at today in recovery. You know, excuse me. This is the best I've ever lived. And I'm not saying that there's not going to come a time that there's some realities of my life that I might not want to face. But what I do know is today is that I don't have to face them alone. That I have a team of people willing to help me face whatever it is that I got to go through. You know, I used to think that I used to say that it was me against the world. I used to say it was me and my son against the world. Man, it's just me and you against the world. You know, but then I got with it, like it's me against the world. You know, and the world was out to get me. The world was out to tear me down. Truth of the matter is, the world could give two fucks for real about me. You know, I just had an illusion in my mind that I was just that important. That everybody was out to cause me some harm. Because I was just that cold, you know. But the truth was, no, man, bullshit, bull crap. You know, let me be real honest. That was straight up bullshit. That was the shit I used to tell myself. Today, rather than face what's really going on, I get help with journaling. Then if I can't face what's going on at that moment, I get to write about it, until I can look at it, take it out, examine it, and then put it in its proper place. And if I need to do something about it, let me do something about it. If I just need to sit on it, let me be able to just sit on it. If I need to give it over to somebody else, let me give it over to somebody else. But at the end of the day, my reality is my reality, not nobody else's. I don't want to live in fantasy no more, because I can get caught up in the illusion of what is, and then when the illusion is shattered, I'm left broken, and I've been broken before. I don't like living in that broken place. Yeah, I don't like living in a broken place. You know what? There is not anybody talking to me tonight. I don't know. Okay, there, Joe, where you at, Joe? I think we communicated earlier today. Let me see where Joe at. I mean, I thought Joe was hanging out with me. Yeah, Joe was supposed. I mean, I don't know. Joe was hanging out with me somewhere where he hollered at me earlier today, and I could have swore that we was going. I was gonna be able to see Joe today and hang out with him tonight because I thought he was coming on here to see me, to hang out with me. That's what I thought. I don't know. But anyway, I don't see Joe. I don't see Joe. I don't. But anyway, just for the day, life is good. I have no complaints. Because at the end of the day, God is totally in control. So I don't see Joe. I don't know where he at. But at any rate, I'm grateful to be able to come to you guys and hang out, share some of my experience, strength, and hope, and let you guys know that, like, no matter what, life goes on. No matter what, God is totally in control. Because at the end of the day, all we got is all we got is our lives and our own realities. And whatever that looks like for you, like, tell yourself the truth. I had to tell my son that tonight. He was talking, he was talking about something. And I had to tell my sons, like, no matter what you do, dude, no matter what you do, tell yourself the truth. If you lie to me, if you lie to the people around you, it is fine. But don't lie to you. Because what happens is when I lie to me, it's harder for me to get the help that I need. It's harder for me to accept what's going on in my life when I'm lying to me about what's going on in my life, when I can't face the realities of my life and I lie to myself about it, I'm in trouble. So I remember having to tell my son that earlier today. It's like, dude, don't lie to you. Family, don't lie to you. If you just gotta lie to the world or whatever, but don't lie to yourself. Because at the end of the day, self is all you get. Self, it said be true to thy own self, and it'll carry you a long way. You might not, uh, man, I ain't gonna say that. What I will say this is, it's like, take care of you. Because if you can take care of you, everything else will take care of itself around you, But I got to be healthy first and foremost before I can be anything for anybody. I got to be it for myself, And just for today, I'm grateful for that. And until we meet again in 2 weeks, I hope you enjoyed Midnight Meditation with Emma. Have a good night and a good morning. Thank you, guys. Goodbye.